Good afternoon, this is HorseRacingNation.com handicapper Jarrod Horak, and this is our video feature race of the week for Saturday, August 27th. It's going to be the 11th race from Saratoga, the Grade 1 Travers for 3-year-olds. They're going to be traveling 10 furlongs on the main track. We have a full 14-horse field. Let's meet the horses. Number 1, Arrogate for trainer Bob Baffert. This one is breaking from the inside post at 10-1 morning line. Mike Smith is going to ride. Won his last 3 starts in Southern California. He's a highly regarded horse. He has some decent tactical speed, but he doesn't have any stakes experience. He only beat 2 rivals in his last start, and then in his other 2 wins, he beat 4 rivals in each of those races. So he could be up against it from an experience standpoint. I think in the long term, he's going to be a good horse, but I don't know that the Travers is going to be the day that he's going to break forward and win a race like this. Number 2, American Freedom, also trained by Bob Baffert, 6-1 morning line. Rafael Bejarano is going to ride. It was a nice effort in the Haskell. He did all the pace dirty work that day. He ended up finishing second. Exaggerator went past him on the wet track. Should get a fast track. They're taking the blinkers off. He should be forwardly placed. Number 3, My Man Sam for trainer Chad Brown. One of 3 horses in here for trainer Chad Brown. Last time out he was second by a neck to tail of Verve in an optional claim in an allowance race at Saratoga at 1 mile and an 1/8. He finished second in the Bluegrass Stakes earlier this year, and then he was 11th in the Kentucky Derby. He's going to be coming from well off the pace. I don't know if he's going to get enough pace help. Don't know if he's good enough, but he will be finishing and passing tired horses. Number 4, Governor Malibu. He was second in the Jim Dandy last time out. Didn't get any pace help. He finished up well. That should serve as a good tightener for this. He was a troubled 4th in the Belmont. He was second in the Peter Pan. This is a tough New York bred. He's been competitive versus this kind before. He should be sitting in mid-pack trying to pounce in the stretch under Joel Rosario at 12-1. And number 5 in here, Forever Doro, 30-1 morning line for trainer Dallas Stewart. He was 3rd in the Curlin Stakes last time out behind a couple rivals he's going to be facing in this spot, Connect and Gift Box. He was beaten 4 lengths, wasn't really a threat to those 2. Didn't get a lot of pace help. It was a solid enough effort. He's lightly raced, good pedigree, has some upside. He's not fast enough at this stage of his career to threaten a win in here. I wouldn't be shocked if he finished 4th, but I think he's probably going to finish off the board. Number 6, Anaximandros. This one is 50-1 morning line. He's probably going to be all of that. Last time out in the West Virginia Derby, he was 52-1. He finished 4th, beaten 7 lengths. His speed figures are improving, but he's nowhere near good enough from a speed figure standpoint at this point in his career to threaten Grade 1 horses in the Travers. Number 7, Exaggerator, your morning line favorite at 3-1. The big question with Exaggerator is going to be, can he run the same race on a fast track? And then also, if the pace isn't as quick, can he still duplicate that big late run? Because each of his big wins were on wet tracks, and he got fast paces in each of those, in the Santa Anita Derby, the Preakness, and the Haskell. All 3 of those big wins that he's had, he got a lot of pace help on a wet track. The track is supposed to be fast. I don't know how fast the pace is going to be in here. On paper, if you look at the pace figures that the horses have been earning in this race, they're not that high. So I think that the pace could be more on the moderate side. Exaggerator is going to be coming from off the pace. He's not going to offer a lot of value. Obviously, he's got a lot of class. He's 1-for-1 at Saratoga. He won the Saratoga Special last summer at Saratoga. If you like him, keep playing him, but I think he could be a bit vulnerable, at least from a value standpoint. Number 8, Destin, 10-1 morning line, and if he went off 10-1, that would probably be fair odds on him. Javier Castellano is going to ride back for trainer Todd Pletcher. He was 3rd in the Jim Dandy. It was just a prep for this, but you would have liked to have seen him maybe try to run down Lauban. Now, Lauban did control the pace, but Destin was always right there throughout. Couldn't get past that one. Governor Malibu passed him late. He ended up 3rd. He was a heartbreaking nose loser in the Belmont Stakes. He was my top choice that day. I was bummed that Creator caught him, but he ran a big race in the Belmont. In the Kentucky Derby, that was his first start in 8 weeks. He needed that one, and then earlier this year he was in great form winning the Tampa Bay Derby and Sam Davis. He has tactical speed. He has class. He went 1.5 miles, so 1.25 miles should not be an issue. He should improve second off the layoff. It's just a question of what kind of trip is he going to sit from post 8. There are multiple horses with similar stalking running styles. Number 9, Gift Box, 12-1 morning line. Interesting trainee for Chad Brown in here. This one is improving. His speed figures are certainly going up. He's lightly raced. They wanted to run him on the Kentucky Derby Trail earlier this year. He was 3rd in the Remsen as a 2-year-old, and then he got sick. He missed the Triple Crown preps, missed the Triple Crown races, so then they were pointing to the Travers. They got a nice allowance win in May at Belmont Park, and then last time in the Curlin Stakes, he was 2nd behind his stablemate Connect. Number Connect will break right next to him, and he's number 10 for trainer Chad Brown, and he's 4-1 morning line. That morning line could drift up a bit for this one, but he did win the Curlin Stakes over the track at 1 1/8 going wire to wire. He didn't set the pace in his other 3 races, so there wasn't a lot of pace in there. He went out, he controlled the pace, he held on. Lightly raced, Son of Curlin, another one that's promising, lightly raced sort. A lot of potential here. Don't know if he's going to be able to get the job done here. He's not going to be able to get to the front most likely. He'll probably be stalking the pace wide. Number 11, Mahesto. This one 30-1 morning line, adding the blinkers today. He didn't do anything in the Curlin Stakes. He ended up finishing last there. He was wide, just didn't pick his feet up. He was up the track in the Kentucky Derby as well. He was second in the Florida Derby behind Nyquist. But that day, that was the day that it was a wet track. Mohaymen didn't pick his feet up. Somebody had to run second to Nyquist. He was the one. I don't think he's good enough to compete with horses like this, especially in his current form. Number 12, Creator. Got no pace help in the Jim Dandy. He ended up finishing last that day. Never got out of last place. We would have liked to have seen a little bit more run. At least Governor Malibu, who was only a length in front of him in 5th place in the early going, was able to rally for second. Creator didn't do any running that day, but he's bounced back from poor efforts before. He won the Arkansas Derby, and then he was 13th in the Kentucky Derby. And then he won the Belmont Stakes off of that up-the-track effort. And then in the Jim Dandy, he didn't run. So he's on that every other race pattern where he's firing after bad efforts, and that's helping his price as well. So when he has a bad effort, his odds drift up, like they did in the Arkansas Derby when he was 11-1, and like they did in the Belmont when he was 16-1. So he'll probably offer value again based on that bad effort. He needs pace help. Number 13, Lauban, should be forwardly placed. He's 15-1 morning line. He stole the Jim Dandy to break his maiden at 27-1 last time out. Set really slow fractions. He went out in 49. He was in complete control in that race. He won it after that half mile, basically. Now, he hasn't gone that slow before. He usually will set quicker paces. But now he's proven that he can set a slow pace and keep going. And from that outside post, maybe they're going to try to stalk the pace. But he should be close to out. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the front. Wouldn't be surprised if he's stalked. But no matter what, he will be a pace factor. I just don't think he's going to be around at the end, because last time he completely controlled things, and it's a different scenario this time. You can't expect that to happen again. And he's probably going to be lower than 27-1 as well. Number 14, Gunrunner, rounds out the field for trainer Steve Asmussen. One of 2 Steve Asmussen trainees. Creator is his other horse. Gunrunner has some tactical speed. He made a middle move in the Haskell, faded to 5th. He's good on a fast track, but he's had a lot of perfect trips to sit some perfect trips in his career earlier on that led to big efforts in the Risen Star, the Louisiana Derby, even in the Kentucky Derby, a perfect trip. The Matt win, he completely controlled the pace, and then when he didn't have everything go his way in the Haskell, he didn't run as well. Now, obviously, he's better on a fast track, but he's got to overcome post 14, and he's probably not going to be able to sit a perfect trip from out there. Now, the major contenders in here, I still think Arrogate's one. If you like him, I wouldn't knock him. He's done nothing wrong. He's one that you can certainly use. Governor Malibu looks like one that should be a solid threat in here. Exaggerator and Destin. Gift Box, those are the major players in this race. Those are the horses that I like the most. But the one I like the most out of all of those is number 2, American Freedom, for trainer Bob Baffert. Taking blinkers off, he's going to try to get him maybe to relax a bit early. He's the inside speed in here. I look at this race and I don't see a lot of pace. Based on pace figures, they're not going that fast. They've been setting some slow paces, the horses that have been setting the pace. But American Freedom, he set some legitimate fractions. He dueled through quick fractions last time in the Haskell on a wet track, and he finished second. He won the Iowa Derby before that. He can handle a fast track just fine. I think he's unlike Exaggerator. Exaggerator moves up on a wet track. I think American Freedom just happened to catch some wet tracks, but he ran well anyway. I think he's probably even better on a fast track. Rafael Bejarano may try to go to the front like he did with Cupid in the West Virginia Derby. Get out there, set the pace. If he can control things, he might be tough to catch. So I'm just going to make, for my $40, I'm just going to make a $40 win wager on American Freedom. I really like his chances in here, especially if he can get out and control the pace. If he slows things down for a half, he's going to be tough to catch. He's not a need-to-lead type, so he should be in the hunt throughout. If you're playing exotics, like I said, use number 1, Arrogate, number 4, Governor Malibu. Use number 7, Exaggerator, number 8, Destin, number 9, Gift Box. That'll wrap up this week's video race of the week. We'll be back next week with another race. Until then, good luck at the races.